So for those of you who don't know, within the Super Mario 64 tool-assisted speedrunning community, we have regular competitions. There are several different competitions, but let's just use the term competitions loosely. So each competition has a task, which typically runs for 2 weeks, or maybe it'll be for a couple of hours, depending on the competition. And the goal is to be the person to achieve the task within the minimal amount of time, or the least amount of frames. Depending on the competition, varies the people running the competition, the number of people running it, and the number of people who actively partake in the competition. Within the biggest competition, the main TAS Comp for Super Mario 64, we have anywhere from 30 to 40 people submitting at any one time. Now, obviously this can be very daunting for some people, and so I decided to build a tool to help achieve monitoring and compiling results and submissions for such events. Now, although it's not as necessary for the bigger competition because there's more people managing it, it would be handy for those who only have 1 or 2 people managing the competition. So I have built this tool. It's simply called the TAS Comp Display Tool or TAS Comp Compiler Display Tool, depending on where you look. It doesn't really matter what it's called. The idea is, it's a data compiler. You can type in a name, TTP. You can write in the starting frame. If I start on the 10th frame and I finish on the 99th frame and I did it in 700 re-records, I can then add that. Now then another person can come along, someone else, whatever it'll do, and let's say they start on frame 88, they finish on 900, whatever that number is, they do 2 re-records and they got disqualification for whatever reasons. We can add that and they will get added to the list. Now, although this person has been DQ'd, you'll see they're second place, they're actually at last place. So if I open up a file, if I open up this file, you can see that this one has Phil DQ'd. So if I untick that and I tick someone else and I click the re-rank option, you can see that this person is now in 5th place. Or I could just simply leave it as such, and you can see here, these 2 people have equal first as well, so there's 4 frames. Now, this is great. As you can see, as you saw, I can save the board and I can load it again at a later date. You can have reasons for disqualification, which isn't so easy to edit once it's already done, but if you're adding something new, so new 1, 2, 3, and DQ, then you can write in some reason, you can add that, and then when you hover over it, you can see the reason for its disqualification. Now, let's assume you then finish the competition, it's the last day, it's like, okay, competition's over, let's score. Now, normally we have a big spreadsheet that we use and we manually go through one at a time to figure out what the people's scores are. Now, when you've got anywhere from 30 people onwards, it gets very annoying to manually write out one at a time and to find out who's in what rank. So what I've done is I decided to build that in. You can come up here and it says score points, and it will score the points. Take us over to this tab and it will score it out for us. Now, of course, you can open up a file for consecutive weeks and it will add usernames to that file. So let's say this is the new file, or the existing file, and let's say only some of these people participate. Let's say only Tom and Joe participate. Now, if we were to score this, you'll see that Tom went up, and I think Joe went up too. I'm not too sure, I wasn't really watching. But as you can see, that went up as well. So that's just what I wanted to show off, just how this tool works and how you can use it for organizing the competition or any other small competitions, not necessarily linked to this community, but really any TASing community that hosts competitions. Also, what you can do is I've built in this plain text exporter, so it can export the competition leaderboards. You can copy, or if you accidentally refresh delete, you can refresh, and you can export the point leaderboard so that it can be pasted directly into something like Discord that has markdown support.